Nolagent here at Cooters. Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard rock.
Welcome to Nolagent. Let the good times roll. So, a lot of kids that grew up when I grew up are all great big fans of the Dukes of Hazzard. And here at Cooter's Place, we've got the Museum of the Dukes of Hazzard. So my pal and Major and I are in Nashville here to tour the Dukes of Hazzard Museum, and they also have got Daisy's Country in here as well, as if you watch the Dukes of Hazzard, you're also a big fan of Daisy. There's also a Willie Nelson store right next door, and so you've also got the General Lee right here as well. So plenty of people are huge fans of the Dukes of Hazzard, and Cooter's Place right here in Nashville is a museum dedicated to the Dukes of Hazzard show. So if you're a longtime fan of the Dukes of Hazzard, you're going to love a visit to Cooter's Place. The Nashville, Tennessee location of Cooter's Place is located at 2613 B McGavock Pike, which is about 8 hours and 538 miles away from the New Orleans French Quarter. There are currently 3 locations of Cooter's Place, including this one in Nashville, another Tennessee location in Pigeon Forge, and one in Luray, Virginia. Cooter's Place is operated by the one and only old Cooter himself, Ben Jones, who played the Duke Boy's sidekick, who was the tow truck driving Cooter.
Nolagent here, right in front of Cooter's truck. Look at there. Woohoo! Cooter's Tow Services. Yeah!
So Cooter's Place locations are all a tribute to all the things we loved about those crazy times in Hazzard County we enjoyed watching. Cooter's Place Museum features pictures, props, costumes, and memorabilia from the beloved Dukes of Hazzard television show. So let's go ahead and head on inside here and check this place out. And best of all, admission is free. So they have a ton of all manner of things in here that I haven't seen in a long time. And some brand new things that I never saw before as well. Many of us used to have the old lunch boxes with our favorite things like the Dukes of Hazzard, so they got some of that in here along with all kinds of t-shirts, mugs, glassware, koozies, and anything else you might be able to think of related to the Dukes of Hazzard. So this is really an impressive collection of items, along with being quite an impressive gift shop for maybe a unique gift for somebody you know that was a huge fan of the Dukes of Hazzard. So some of the great memories you get to finally experience in person here include Cooter's tow truck, Daisy's Jeep, Rosco's patrol car, and of course, the Duke's famous General Lee, which we already saw, which is a 1969 Dodge Charger. And they have some models in here of the 1969 Dodge Charger, although it's getting harder and harder to find an actual General Lee edition one. They did have a few during one of my visits here, but they were pretty light on the available options when I was here with my pal the Major. So if you see one, you might want to grab one, as they're harder and harder to find all the time. So the entrance here has a lot more gift shop type stuff and a little bit of memorabilia, but not as much as you're going to see further back. So don't despair. They have a ton of memorabilia stuff in here that we're still going to see. So just keep on keeping on with our tour here, because look at here. Here's where some of the memorabilia starts. As soon as we exit out that first little room and start going through a hallway that has stuff on either side of it that kind of wiggles and worms its way through, and then we get back to some more gift store area. But keep an eye out of all of these many things here we can see. You're going to see some very familiar faces and very familiar things. You probably recognize some of these characters right here, I would have to assume.
These old Duke boys always causing a little trouble, you know.
If you were really to take a lot of time to look in detail at the many things they have in all the display cases here, you could take hours upon hours of touring this museum. Most people kind of walk through it a little bit faster, so it's just kind of deciding what kind of pace you want to do it in, and they just kind of let you do it on your own for the most part. So just enjoy this quick walkthrough we're going to do, and know that if you wanted to take a slower tour and look at things in more detail, you certainly can do that. And that's what going in person is for. This is just a little taste.
Woohoo, Daisy Dukes.
Now we get into some of the bigger displays. They've got a whole little setup of Hazzard County itself right there in a model form. And then we've got the sheriff's car right here. And I think that's a little stuffed animal version of a certain hound dog we love to see in the show. And whoa, there's plenty more stuff to see in this area as well. You can certainly have some other fun activities you can engage in right here. And definitely we've even got some drinks available. So this is a many options area of the store / museum. So there's lots of entertaining things to see and do pretty much throughout this whole experience. So again, you can go as fast or as slow as you like, but if you're going to look at everything in detail, you probably need to plan for a lot more time because there's so many things here, so many of those wonderful old toys and posters and things many of us used to have. I never had a go-kart quite like this, although I did have a go-kart, so that's always a cool thing to see when you didn't know they made a Dukes of Hazzard model go-kart. So you can walk right up to the sheriff's car back here and see things a little more up close and personal. Now you can also get your picture taken and all the vehicles. They just have a little upcharge for that if you want to actually sit in it. They also have the option to go take a ride in the General Lee as well if you wanted to. So it's good to kind of check out your options and see what you want to do in all those categories. Now they didn't charge just for getting a picture right next to the vehicle, so that was free, where sitting inside of it was that little charge. So there's a lot of model cars in this section, but I'm not seeing an actual General Lee model car here. So they've got some similar kinds of things, just not exactly. And then all various types of clothing items and pillows and t-shirts and sheets and all kinds of random things that you really have to take some time to figure out what some of it even is. They've got such a selection of so many items in here. It really is astounding and almost overwhelming with so many things to see and so many different categories. But look out there, it's Daisy Duke's Jeep ahead of us here. So I believe this is the official Daisy Country section. Initially I thought it was going to be kind of a separate store, but it's all connected back here. So it's all one big happy Duke family in here. So definitely don't worry about not being able to find Daisy stuff back here, because she is pretty prominent throughout. And of course, I'm always happy to see Daisy like many people. So myself and my pal the Major both agree we might just still have never gotten over our crush we had on Daisy. So we're both still big fans of Daisy, we both love Jeeps, and we're still big fans of the Jeep and of Daisy's Daisy Dukes all this time later. So This is just a classic Jeep, and Daisy just created the classic Daisy Duke look we all love to this day. Now, there were two things I didn't see in this museum I was a little disappointed about. I didn't see any of Uncle Jesse's moonshine for sale, and I didn't see any compound bows with dynamite on them on display. Those were two big Dukes of Hazzard things I thought that would have been in here that I didn't see. Now, while you're here, you might as well go right next door to Willie Nelson's store, as there's a lot of stuff in there, including a showcase museum and a whole lot of memorabilia from many other country music singers. Then right next door to the Willie Nelson store, they had this other fantastic music venue, the Nashville Palace, where I saw some really fantastic shows, and they also have some food. I never ate there, but I really enjoyed the music there.
Diligent here, right next to the General Lee. Look at this beauty. Woohoo! Where are those Duke boys? I love the General Lee! Woo! Let's take off. Sheriff P. Coltrane's on the way. He might get us. Gotta get out of here. But Daisy's waiting for us.
So, thanks so much to everybody at Cooter's Place in Nashville, Tennessee for a wonderful flashback in history. And thanks so much to all of you out there for tuning into the Diligent channel, especially to my Patreons. And if you would take a moment just to share this video with any of your friends or contacts that would enjoy it, it really would help me with the YouTube algorithm. And then tune in next time for more good food, good times, and good people. Diligent here, and thanks so much for watching. And just go ahead and destroy this video right here to keep up with the fun.